Alright, welcome to MTG Friends. Alright, so we are doing a pre-con. We're going to open this thing up and check out what we got. And then we'll just sort of decide what we want to keep and not. And then we'll do an upgrade. Yeah, buddy! So we'll probably do that with a few of the others too. Whoa, man! Alright, so should we play with that big one? No, we shouldn't. Alright, so here is the pre-con. I have not even looked through this thing. I have no idea what it's at. I can guarantee you that it's got garbage lands, because, you know, it usually does. Alright, so there you go. So, nice little shiny. Adelaide Palani Nest Tender. Create a 0/1 egg. Okay, so I'm guessing that's some of the shenanigans going on. Opponents can't cast spells when a creature you control deals damage to a player. Goad each creature that player controls. Okay, yeah. Tokens. All the pre-cons in these in this set. This is the 2019 set. This is the other one we might do in another episode. Cadena. And you can check out the other ones that we've already done. So, hey, Mirage. I'm guessing that one's going to go. Got cards for each opponent. Oh, this one is usually a garbage one. That one's probably not going to make the cut. Create token you get +1/+1. Okay. Create when it dies. Bird token. So, this must be all about tokens. So, when Ghired Conclave enters the battlefield, create a 4/4 green rhino creature token with trample. Ooh, whenever Ghired attacks, populate the tokens into the battlefield tapped and attacking. Okay, cool. So, I like that idea. Populate creatures you control gain indestructible. Okay. Create a token that's a copy of a creature token you control. Okay, I like this concept. Populate, lots of populate. Oh, Beast Within. We'll definitely be keeping that one. So this is the for surezies. At the beginning of your upkeep, that's questionable. Oh, we'll definitely keep Cultivate. Okay, populate, lots of populate. So we might be keeping that. Whenever a creature with power 3 or greater enters battlefield under control, we might keep that. Maybe that one. Probably Farseek. Rampant Green. Whenever another creature with power 3 or greater is maybe. Harmonize. Yes to maybe. Sacrifice. Hey, yeah, we like that kind of ramp. We'll probably keep that one. Slice in Twain. We might not keep that one, but maybe. 3 damage. That's a maybe. Destroy target artifact, then populate. There's a lot of populate stuff going on here. Populate. Lightning Greaves, yeah, we'll probably keep that. We'll definitely keep that. The land base we'll probably fix, you know, because what? Alright, let's see here. Boom, shalakalak, boom. So, regular lands. Boom. Creatures you control get +1 for each time you... Yeah, okay, whatever. That's a maybe. Sculptors at the beginning of your end step create a colorless artifact token with this creature powers. Maybe. Song. Whenever you cast a spell, populate. That's pretty cool. For what this is doing. Maybe. Probably not. Hey! Orin Frostfang. We'll definitely keep that one. That's a great card. Exile target creature card from graveyard, then populate. Maybe. Whenever an opponent attacks with one or more creature, if Tengri is tapped, you may have the opponent gain control of the... What? Choose a target player. That's probably not going to make it. Maybe. Alright, this is a maybe. Serious maybe. What? Sacrifice it, create a 10/10 colors Eldrazi? Are you kidding? That cost 8 though. Jeez. Maybe. Sanctions is embalm. Yeah. Maybe. Raid whenever if you attack with a creature this turn, create a 3/4 white bird creature token. Maybe. Oh, Dragon Outcast. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 6 or more lands, create a 5. I like that. We'll keep that. Felden of Third Path. Maybe. Hey, Primal Hunger. I need this in another deck. Draw cards equal. Yeah, actually, this is the one that we just did with Kenrith, the big and dumb one. Check out that episode. Giant Adephage. That's actually in the dumb one too. The big and dumb. Maybe, probably not, but we'll put it in the maybe board. Create a 3/4 green beast. Probably not. Let's see. Tristani. Oh, I need that in a different deck. Maybe Desolation Twins. Sweet. That's a little large. Alright, let's see here. Friction Horror. Ooh, that's a good one. Maybe. Destroy all non-token creatures. Probably not going to make it, but maybe. Flame Rider. Maybe to no. Manticore, maybe to no. Fresh Meat. Maybe to no. Maybe to no. Rampaging Ballast. Oh, Second Harvest. Oh, there's some good cards in this. I'm not too shabby here. Draw a card for each. What is this in my hand? Oh. Get this out of the way. Shamanic Revelation. Probably not. Gain 5 life. Probably not. Maybe. Growing ranks. Populate stuff. Looks like we might need to consider all of that. Maybe to no. Let's see. Mimic Vat. Probably not. Soul Foundry. Probably not. Definitely not. Exile Orchard. Probably. Gargoyle Castle. No. Add. Maybe. Lands. Definitely on that one. Probably not on that one. No. Probably. Enters tapped. No. Enters tapped. No. Maybe or yes. Enters tapped. No. And no. All right. So here's our maybes when we go to tech this out. And these are our for surezies, or most likelies. So next we go to the deck tech for Ghired Conclave Exile. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this one. Okay, now that we have rummaged through the pre-constructed deck, I must admit we pulled out and swapped out a lot more cards than I was initially expecting. And let's review this card again. When it comes into play, create a 4/4 green rhino creature token with trample. Whenever Ghired attacks, populate. The token enters the battlefield tapped and attacking. I actually pulled out a lot more populate cards than I was expecting as well. So as per usual, let's check out what packages we created. Subscribe, hit the like, moving on. All right. We got graveyard shenanigans, lots of token stuff going on. The protection pieces you'd expect if you've seen any of our other episodes. Removal, not a ton, but some. We got a ridiculous combo here. As my buddy Brad said when we were playing yesterday, he said, yeah, I got a card in my hand. It's a troll card. I thought that was pretty funny. I don't usually hear people say that. Usually I say jank. Oh man, I digress. Anyways, we got a combo in here. One that you may or may not be familiar with. Some draw mechanics. Not a ton of draw in here. So there might be some room to put a few more pieces. But hey, let's move on. All right, got a couple control pieces. The land package, most versatile part. If you've seen our other episodes, you know that the land package is the most swappable. We didn't go crazy with this one. I don't think there's any like original duels and all that kind of stuff. We got ramp. Lots and lots of rampalicious stuff and some tutors. So we make up for the lack of draw if we don't get our Sylvan libraries out, those kinds of things, with a fair amount of tutoring to get some of those utility creatures out. All right, so let us jump in. Yes, sorry, Bob. All right, we got graveyard play. It's a one-off. I'm not even going to highlight this one. Eternal Witness, grab a permanent, put it back in your hand. All right, protection pieces. I suppose I'm not going to highlight these either. Heroic Intervention, Teferi's Protection. I mean, you know what they do. Heroic gives Hexproof and Indestructible to the end of the turn for your permanents, and Teferi phases them all out, puts them back in the next upkeep. Alright. The combo. Alright, let's talk about this little combo we got. Kiki Jiki, yes, it's gross. It comes in, it's got haste. Then you create a token that's a copy of target non-legendary creature you control, except it has haste. Sacrifice at the beginning of the next end step. And then Zealous Conscript. Haste whenever Zealous Conscript enters the battlefield. Gain control of target permanent until end of turn. Untap that permanent. It gains haste. So you just create infinite conscripts with haste. Very funny. Very funny. And the part that lets you untap it. So you copy, untap, untap it. Yeah. You get it. You get it, right? If you don't, put something in the comments and I will explain it further. Alright, we got a little bit of control. Not a ton in here. Deflecting Swat. If you have your commander out, costs you nothing. You may choose new targets for target spell or ability. Janky jank. Need I say more about this card? Probably not. Alright, control. We put this in the control section because of at the beginning of your end step, each player gains control of all creatures they own. So this is super spicy because let's say somebody reanimates one of your creatures or puts animate dead, grabs one of your creatures, or a blue spell does some thievery of some kind with a creature. Well, guess what? At the beginning of your next end step, or of your end step, you get those back regardless of what enchantment is on it. Super jank, super awesome. Yeah. Alright. Next up, we got some ramp. We're going to blast through this. Birds of Paradise, Mana Dork, Signet, yep. Chromatic Lantern just makes all of your land any color of your choosing, and you tap it as well, so it's also a mana rock. Cultivate, I mean, yeah, go grab 2 lands, put one in your hand, put it on the battlefield, tapped. Farseek, this was in the precon, so I left it in there. Farseek, you know, go grab a Plains, Island, Swamp, or Mountain card, put it on the battlefield, tapped. Not a big fan of it coming in tapped, but hey, whatever. The other Signet in Gruul, Mana Dork, Ragavan, Nimble Pilfer. Let's talk about this for a second. So you're going to see this a lot more in the higher end decks. Totally swappable. Just put in another Mana Dork or something. But this one is super spicy, and it's new at Modern Horizons too. It comes into the battlefield whenever it does combat damage to a player. You get to get a treasure token. But on top of that, exile the top card of that player's library until end of turn. You may cast that card. So it's got that as well. I mean, Jiminy Cricket, Christmas time in July. It also has dash, which means you can pay 2 instead of 1. And then at the end, I think of the end step. Yeah, the end step, you get to bounce it back into your hand. So you can just keep it nice and tight in your hand. Do it again. Do it again. Keep getting your treasure tokens. So serious crazy ramp. I have over-explained this card. So we're going to just move right on. Also in the precon, you can crack it for a basic land. And then put it on the battlefield tab. Alright, Sky Shroud, claim. I like this because it brings the 2 forest cards onto the battlefield untapped. Yes, it costs you 4, but you get 2 more. So net 2, you know, it's all good in the hood, yo. All good in the hood. Tithe. Oh, man, Tithe. So, I'm going to say shout out to Brad again. Shout out. Yesterday we were playing, and he tithed me on turn 2, 3, and then just, ramped up like a madman. Anyways, Tithe is so effective. Whenever an opponent draws a card, that player may pay 2. And usually they don't. But they have to really do mana management, which really puts your opponent on their heels if you get Tithe out fairly early. Create your treasure token, which you can sack for mana. All right, Soul Ring, yep. 3 visits. For 2, you go grab a forest, comes in, untapped. Love it. Love these go grab a forest untapped shenanigans. I mean, it's very nice. Shenanigans. All right, man, I'm in a singing mood or goofy. I don't know. Anyways, Wood Elf. Also, go grab a forest, put it on the battlefield, untapped. All right, we got some tutors. All right, we're creating a lot of tokens and going wide
relatively quickly, hopefully for you. Chord of Calling helps with that mechanic to go tutor with Convoke. So you can tap a creature, and if it's a green creature, that counts as green color. If it's any other, it comes in as colorless for your Convoke costs. So you can tap them to make that cost go down. Search a library for a creature card with converted mana cost X or less and put it on the battlefield, then shuffle your library. Boom. That's pretty cool. Chord of Calling is great. Eladamri's Call for 2. You can search and go grab a creature, put it in your hand. You do have to reveal it, but hey, whatever. For 2, I'm cool with that. Enlightened Tutor, you put on top of your library for an enchantment or a, almost said sorcery, enchantment or artifact. Boom. Yep. Finale of Devastation, a way to pull out a win con or just really settle the board in your favor. Search a library or graveyard for a creature card with converted mana cost X or less and put it on the battlefield. If you search a library this way, shovel it. If X is 10 or more, creatures you control get +X and gain haste until end of turn. I mean, go fetch up something giant like a Craterhoof or something, and then you get the +X. I mean, that's redonkulous. Ridicky-donkulous. All right, Worldly Tutor. Fetch yourself a creature, put on top of your library. All right, Growing Ranks. We're in Populate. We removed a lot of the Populate cards because the commander has it itself, and we had other powerful cards we could put in instead. So you'll see what I mean when we get through the rest of this. Growing Ranks, however, is a great one for this kind of synergy. At the beginning of your upkeep, Populate. I mean, yeah, it keeps happening. Enchantment, yes please. Tristanis Selesnia's Voice. 2 green, 2 white, 2 fiber. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under control, you gain life equal to that creature's toughness. And for 3, you populate. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, we got a fair amount of shenanigans. Anger has haste 2/2. As long as Anger's in your graveyard and you control a mountain, creatures you control have haste, which gives all those tokens haste. I mean, yeah. All right, let's see if I can not butcher this name. Aurelia, the Warleader. Whew, got it. Flying Vigilance haste 3/4. Whenever Aurelia, the Warleader, attacks for the first time each turn, untap all creatures you control. After this phase, there is an additional combat phase. Yeah, it's kind of like a Morog with flying. I like this a lot. Speaking of Craterhoof Behemoth, nice little combo. Go fetch it up with Finale. Drop it onto the playfield. And then you got +X, where X is the number of creatures you control. I mean, dude, this is a ridiculous card, which is why it's expensive for a creature. All your creatures get trample as well, so this is another win con conditione. I mean, boom shalakalak. Oh, I just ordered like 2 or 3 more jump starts. Should we crack them on the channel? I don't know. If you want me to crack a jump start on the channel, if I get enough comments in the comment sections to do it, I will do it. Otherwise, just gonna have to wait. Yo. All right, Marisi, Breaker of the Coil. This is in the pre-con, so I left it in. It does have some shenanigans. Your opponents can't cast spells during combat. Love that. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to player, goad each creature that player controls. Till the next turn, those creatures attack each combat if able and attack a player other than you if able. I mean, goad is a silly, funny mechanic, especially in Commander. And especially if there's more than just 2 players, which hopefully is the typical thing for you. It's always so much funner to play Commander when it's not 1v1. 1v1's fine though. All right, I digress again. Samut, Voice of Dissent for 5. It's got Flash. Love that it has Flash, which is why it pops off so nicely. Other creatures you control have haste. And for 1 white, untap another target creature. So for defensive purposes, this is hilarious. You go swing with your big dog. You hold back with 5 mana's worth. They go to attack, counterattack. You drop this, untap it. Boom. Yeah, buddy. All right, Terror of the Peaks. This one is just hilarious. Love this. And in Standard, this thing is super funny too. Not a lot of play in Standard with this thing as of late because of all the other powerful cards going on. But anyways, at least as of this recording. It's got a flying, spells your opponents cast that target Terror of the Peaks cost an additional 3 life to cast. I mean, that's cool for spot removal. But what's more important is whenever another creature enters, not casts, but enters the battlefield. So all of our token mechanics are going to really pop off with Terror of the Peaks. Terror of the Peaks deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target. When this pops off, make sure that you laugh internally and don't give it away on your face, or else you're going to start losing friends, yo. All right, Triumph of the Hordes, just a 4-drop until end of turn. An alt win con, creatures you control get 1/1 and gain trample and infect, which you probably already know, 10 infect damage to a player, they lose the game. So just a nice little bump up, +1/+1, and trample with infect. I mean, this card is just a serious consideration for a lot of decks, for surezies. All right, we got a little bit of removal. Aura Shards, whenever a creature comes into play under your control, you may destroy target artifact or enchantment. Very awesome. Very awesome. You know what? Let's see. What is this kind of currently going for right now? Wow, it has really, really gone down. Oh, no, it hasn't. 12, 13, 11, 12. Yeah, that's about right. I correct myself. On the air. I correct myself. All right, Beast Within. Destroy target permanent. Its controller creates a 3/3 beast creature token. This is a great card. This was in the actual pre-con, I believe. Yeah, I think so. It's a great card. Very good removal in green. Force of Vigor. We dropped this one in because it is excellent, excellent removal for artifacts and enchantments, especially if Aura Shards gets blown up. And it costs you nothing if you dump a green card from your hand if it's not your turn. Otherwise, a hard cost of 4 is not terrible, especially the fact that you get to destroy 2 of them. All right, Hour of Reckoning. This was in the pre-con, but because we're so heavy in tokens, I mean, yeah, a reset button that keeps all your tokens. Love it. Destroy all non-token creatures. Now, opponents theoretically have tokens too, but you know what? It's going to clear the board pretty nicely. Nature's Claim, a 1-drop, destroy target artifact or enchantment is controlled gains 4 life. Yeah, we're cool with that. Very swappable card because we do have other spot removal, especially with Aura Shards in there as well. So if 1, you don't have this card, or 2, you have something else you want to swap in, this is a very swappable card. Swords, exile target creatures, control against life equal to its power. Some people love this card, and some people just actually hate this card to play it. So if you're one of those people that hates it, just put in another removal spell. For surezies. Wrath, I mean, yeah, destroy all creatures that can't be regenerated. All right, we're going to go through this fairly quickly. There's nothing super surprising in the land base. No original duels in here. I think we're running all of the fetch lands and shock lands that you'd expect in this. You can certainly swap those out for other duels, sometimes tap for budgetary reasons. Anyways, let's just blast right through this. Fetch land, if you have 2 or more players. If you tend to play 1v1, just pull these 2 or more player ones out. They come in untapped. So Bountiful. We got the pathways. I am just loving these pathways. You choose white or green in this pathway. Cinder. This is the one where if you have 2 or more controllers. Command Tower. Cragcrown. This is the green-red version. Exotic. So you get to tap it for any color your opponents have. Crack this if you have 4 lands, including itself. It comes in untapped. Go grab a basic land of your choice. We got a few forests in here. Jungle Shrine was in the pre-con. I like it. Yes, it does come in tapped. I do not like that part. But hey, we like it. All right. Pain Land. One damage for your troubles. Mountains, not too many. The other pathway that you would expect. The white-red. A few plains. Prismatic Vista. The fetch to go grab whatever basic you need. Shockland. The 2 or more opponents. More shocklands. Shocklands. Fetch land. Fetch land. Oh, and Yavi Maya. I'm really digging this one out of Modern Horizons 2. It's the Urborg of green. So all lands are forced in addition to their others. I really, really like this for green play when you have multicolors. All right, let's get into some token action. Whenever Avenger of Zendikar enters the battlefield, create a 0/1 green plant creature token for each land you control. It's got landfall, which puts +1/+1 on each plant. This can get out of control for your opponents real quick. So even if this is the only thing you drop onto the board, I mean, they have to deal with it very quickly. All right, Bramble Sovereign for 4. Whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield, you may pay 2. If you do, that creature's controller creates a token that's a copy of that creature. Also a card that can get completely out of control. Court of Grace. I really like this card. I like the court cards here in each color. We're going to include this one in this build. You become the Monarch, and at the beginning of upkeep, create a 1/1 white spirit creature token. If you are the Monarch, make a 4/4 white angel with flying instead. Dragonmaster Outcast came in the pre-con. Love this card. My buddy Josh has this in his Goblins deck, I believe. Maybe not. I can't remember for sure what. You'll have to go check that one out. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 6 or more lands, create a 5/5 red dragon creature token with flying. I mean, yes, thank you. May I have another? Boom. Elder Gargaroth. Oh, I'm going to give a shout out to Brad, not 1, not 2, but 3 times just because it's in my mind. Dude, he dropped one of these in a beast tribal deck he had. Oh, we're going to tech that one out too and do one later. And I was just like, oh, all the wind went out of the room for me. I was like, oh man, this thing's awesome. And it is awesome. And it's still, as of this recording, in standard. And you're seeing a lot of play with it. 5-drop Vigilance, Reach, Trample. And if that wasn't enough with a 6/6 beater, it's got whenever it attacks or blocks, creates a 3/3 green beast token, or you gain life, or you draw a card. Jiminy Jesus. I mean, God. And it's a 5-drop. I would expect this to have been a 6-drop for how much crap it does. But no, it's very good. It is included. Azuri's Predation, 5 green. For each creature your opponents control, create a 4/4 green beast creature token. Each of those beasts fights a different one of those creatures. Dude, this is hilarious, especially if like your opponent's playing like a tribal squirrel or rat or elf. I mean, this is awesome, especially if you get it mid-game or a little bit earlier where you can drop this and clear their board while keeping all of those beasts. I mean, boom, shalaka laka. I mean, that is awesome. Finale of Glory. Create X/2/2 white soldier creature tokens with vigilance. That was a really weird way of saying soldier. If X is 10 or more, also create X/4/4 white angel creature tokens. I mean, this will change the state of the board significantly, requiring a board wipe, or you're just going to go in for the win, most likely. Very swappable card, if you so choose. Godsire. Dude, do I love this card. Put a 8/8 beast creature token into play that's red, green, and white. It does cost a lot, but we have a lot of ramp. So 4 red, green, white, and we have a lot of mana fixing as well. Boy, you get like a Swiftfoot boots on this thing. You make it with haste, and you're off to the races, yo. Luminarch Ascension for 2 at the beginning of each opponent's end step. If you didn't lose life this turn, you may put a quest counter on Luminarch Ascension for 2. Create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying. Activate this ability only if Luminarch Ascension has 4 or more. So you gotta work for it, but once you get there, this thing is Awesomus Maximus. Alright, Omnath Locus of Rage. Yes, of course we're going to have this in the token section. Landfall, whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, put a 5/5 red and green elemental creature token onto the battlefield. Whenever Omnath Locus of Rage or another elemental you control dies, it deals 3 damage to target creature or player. So it's spot removal or just ping him in the face. Ping, ping, ping. Quartz Wood Crasher is redonky donk. It's 2 red, green, 6/6. I mean, I love that it's a 6/6 beater for that amount, but it's also got trample. And for our token stuff, whenever one or more creatures you control with trample deals combat damage to a player, create an XX green dinosaur beast creature token with trample, where X is the amount of damage those creatures dealt this to that player. Notice it says creatures. So if you got multiple tramplers, that's how big this token is. I mean, dude, that is Dudelicious. The dude. The dude has spoken. This was in the pre-con, I believe. Landfall, whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may create a 4/4 beast creature token. Rise the Redeemed. It's a nice little 1-drop. And for 3, you can create a 1/1 green and white elf creature token. And for 6, for each creature token you control, create a token that's a copy of that creature. Yeah, you read that right. For each creature token you control, create a token that's a copy of that creature. So you double up on the... what? Yeah, that's pretty awesome. It does cost 6 to make that happen, but you know what? We likey. Sandworm Convergence for 8. We do have a lot of ramp, I remind you. Creatures with flying can't attack you or planeswalkers you control at the beginning of your end step. Create a 5/5 green worm creature token. Yeah. And Worm Coil Engine, I believe, to end the token sectione. Death Touch Lifelink. Whenever Worm Coil Engine dies, create a 3/3 colors white artifact. Blah, blah, blah. With Death Touch. And the other one is Lifelinker. I mean, dude. I've duded you a lot today. Duded. Or tonight. Whenever you're watching. All right, this is a new one. This is totally swappable, but super awesomeness Maximus. It is a little spendy for what it is, but I really don't think this is going to be going down in price. Whenever an opponent casts their first non-creature spell each turn, draw a card unless that player pays X, where X is Esper Sentinel's power. So this is a very competitive card. So put it in, enjoy it. It's great. You're going to be doing that X. I mean, even if it's a 1/1 for the whole time it's in the battlefield, your opponents are going to have to think about their mana management, which is what you want to do. Great card. Might even do a short little excerpt about our video about this card specifically and why I think it's so groovy-licious. Orin Frostfang, one of the best ones in, I think, this pre-con. Yeah. So this was in the pre-con. Love this card. Attacking creatures you control have Death Touch. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Yeah. Just make sure you do management with your deck if you're dealing with mill cards and stuff, because you draw the card. You don't have the choice, because the way it's worded, whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Not you may draw a card. So just be careful with that. Sometimes that matters. Return of the Wild Speaker for draw as well, mainly for draw. Draw cards equal to the greatest power among non-human creatures you control. But sometimes you want that +3/+3 for non-human creatures at instant speed. So it's a very nice utility card that's mainly used for draw in this particular build. Sylvan, also draw. Hopefully you're familiar with this by now. It's you grab 3 cards off the top of your library instead of just 1, and then you can choose to take the other 2 for 4 life each. Otherwise, you put them on top of your library. All right, doubling up. Now, this one is, all of these are relatively spendy, but they're really vital with token generation. So if you don't have them, pick them up. If you do, play them. Anointed Procession, if an effect would create 1 or more tokens under your control, it creates twice that many of tokens instead. And we got Doubling Season, which does that on top of +1/+1 counters. It doubles both of those up. And Parallel Lives, same thing. If it creates tokens, it doubles them up. So you can run all 3, but if you're missing one, you can certainly swap out. I recommend running at least 2 of these, if not all 3. All right, speaking of doubling up, again, this is instant speed instead of enchantments. For each token you control, create a token that's a copy of that permanent. Whew, that is awesome. Especially on the defense, actually, because you got tokens you've swung, they're all tapped. You can instant speed this and then create whatever you got so that they are untapped on the board, ready to block for the win, hopefully, next turn. All right, and that brings us full circle. Ghired Conclave Exile. Yes, we swapped out a whole lot of the pre-con cards. We kept some, we kept the commander, right? And we kept a few handfuls of them. But the spirit of the deck is definitely there. We teched it up so that you're going to be super competitive in your play group, and it's just fun and janky. Lots of fun. Lots of fun. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Check out our other episodes. And thank you for being a subscriber. Hey, and you made it to the end. Rock on. Rock on. Oh, and if you made it to the end, as of this recording, I don't know which side it is, but this logo is new. Do you like it? We love it. We're going to animate it too. We're going to animate it soon. All right. I have rambled on enough. Rambling. Yeah, I was born a rambling man. Do 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 do.